The 1998 European golf season tees off in the Far East on the tropical island resort of Phuket on the southwest coast of Thailand. A dream location for those in search of Eastern promise, some sun and relaxation. And a stunning opening for an eagerly anticipated European season. Phuket is about 420 miles southwest of Bangkok. The Blue Canyon Country Club was built on the side of an old tin mine and rubber plantation. It'll provide a rigorous examination for the seasonal opener, the Johnnie Walker Classic. As novel opening ceremonies go, this one took some beating. Defending champion Ernie Els was riding high, but he also recognised the quality of the rest of the field. Ian Woosnam, winner of this event in Singapore in 1996. Another former Masters champion, Jose Maria Olazabal, his injury problems happily behind him. Mick Faldo hoping to revitalise his career and bidding for his third Johnnie Walker Classic. And of course, golf's hottest property, Tiger Woods, returning to Phuket for the first time in 4 years.
I played here in '94 when Johnnie Walker was here. This is the place where I made my first cut in the Uni PGA Tour event. I mean, it was the first one I've ever made. And so I have some pretty good memories coming back here for the second time, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, what a spectacular venue fit for any champion. A challenging, demanding course, a sumptuous clubhouse, and facilities to satisfy every need. 48 guest rooms fit for a king, perfect for resting those tired limbs after a strenuous day. And it's impossible to go hungry. Thai, Japanese, and continental cuisine are all catered for. There's no danger here of setting out on your round with an empty stomach. The Gary Player Golf Academy stocks the latest equipment, and Blue Canyon offers the warmest of welcomes, along with a proud tradition of high-quality service. A wonderful holiday destination for any golfing devotee, and the world's greatest players couldn't wish for a more idyllic opening to this year's European
I'm really
Tour.
looking forward to it.
With me, Warren Humphreys. Warren, Tiger's very much the centre of attention.
Yes, always the centre of attention wherever he plays. 4 victories on the US Tour in '97. Including that coveted green jacket for his victory in the Masters. First player on the PGA Tour to pass $2 million in prize money in a season. No magic from Tiger over the initial first 3 rounds. A lacklustre 72 was followed by 2 71s. And you can see frustration showing on the face of Tiger with every shot. He has worked hard with Butch Harmon over the winter months. He's put on a little weight, 20 pounds. And Coach Harmon reckons that this year will be a phenomenal year for Tiger. But if he wants to get back into this event, he will need to work hard not only on the long game, but also with the putting touch, which has eluded him so far this week.
Well, Tiger's playing partner on the first day was the Great Dane Thomas Bjorn, a star of Europe's victorious Ryder Cup team. He covered the back 9 in 30 for an opening 67 and a share of the lead, but a bout of food poisoning put paid to his chances, 81 in round 2, and he missed the halfway cut. Another man to make an early exit was Ian Woosnam. Never one to enjoy hot and humid conditions, Woosie admitted he played terribly. He had rounds of 73 and 76, and on 149, 5 over par, he missed the cut by 2. Now, the way ahead for Nick Faldo was once again more practice. Warren, his quest for perfection never ceases.
Yes, and his enthusiasm for the game always stays high with it. His sights, as ever, set on the majors and determined to compete in more events to realise that goal. He's worked hard over the winter months with coach David Ledbetter to reshape his swing, get more feel into the game and give himself a little bit more hand action. But with rounds of 71, 67 and 69, more importantly, there are signs that the elusive putting touch is beginning to return into Faldo's game.
And after 3 rounds, Nick's just 1 shot off the lead. Well placed too, the Irishman Padraig Harrington, recently married and showing signs of continuing the form which brought him nearly £390,000 on the European Tour last season. The 27-year-old German Alex Chayka had a disappointing 1997 by his standards. He's looking to recapture the inspiration he had in '95 when he won 3 titles, including the Volvo Masters. Brave fella, our Alex, and he opened up with a 67 and a 68, but a third round 74 left him 7 under par and nicely in contention. Now, the home crowd had plenty to cheer as well in the performance of the 29-year-old Prayad Marksang. The Asian Player of the Year has a wonderful touch around the greens. He came home in 32 for an opening round of 67, and he'd consolidated on that to stand 8 under par after 3 rounds. And his putting was very much a feature of the first 3 days of this Johnnie Walker Classic. But what of the holder, Ernie Els? He escaped unscathed from a snowmobile accident in Colorado a few weeks ago. Now he's looking forward to defending his title on a course he rates highly.
Not too many birdie chances because of the greens are very undulated. You got to keep the ball in the right place on the green, so that's going to be key. But back 9, there's some really beautiful holes. I think 17 is going to be the key hole this week. 230 yards to the middle of the green, normally into the wind, so it's going to be tough there, but quite a few nice holes out there.
And Warren Ernie's looking wonderfully relaxed.
Yes, wonderfully relaxed after scoring 2 rounds of 67 and 65, showing the Thai galleries out here his wonderful repertoire of shots, rhythm and tempo, which has become the hallmark of Els' game. The US Open champion certainly going to be a hard man to beat this week, and with shots like that, and with the help of a new putter, which has more loft and slightly heavier, Els looks in total control, even despite shooting a 74 on day 3, which would still see him at the top of the leaderboard by 1 shot.
Well, the European Tour are determined this year to clamp down on slow play. Raymond Burns and Wayne Westner were both penalised a stroke in the first round by chief referee John Paramore, and even Nick Faldo received a warning as well. But not much was slowing Ernie Els down. After 3 rounds, he leads the way on 10 under par. He's 1 stroke clear of Nick Faldo and 2 ahead of the local player Prayad Marksang. On 7 under par, 3 behind Podrick Harrington, Alex Chayka and Peter O'Malley. And on 6 under, 4 off the lead, Stephen Leaney, Lee Westwood and Peter Baker. Well, conditions once again perfect for the final round. Blue Canyon proving quite a test for this glittering field. Greg Norman holds the course record here with a 64, and Tiger Woods needs to get close to that if he wants to feature in this final round. And dressed in his traditional red, he's not hanging around. He reaches the par 5 6th in 2, and then really finds his form on the back 9. His putting touch all week has really been deserting him, but now when it really matters most, Woods finds his form. A birdie on the 10th moves him to 5 under par. He desperately wants to do well this week in the country where his mother Cotilda was born, and the galleries are really treated to some vintage Woods play. Another birdie follows on the 13th. A full repertoire of shots from the world number 1, delighting the galleries. This moves him to 7 under par. He's now just 4 off the lead. Retief Goosen is also in contention. That birdie on the 9th puts him 9 under, and he's 2 behind Els. Peter O'Malley, the Australian, and Nick Faldo are 3 behind, and then come Woods, Allenby, and the local man Marksang. And Lee Westwood and Podrick Harrington aren't out of it either. The 7th tee, Ernie Els.
.205 yards. Just a medium iron for Els. And that, although it looked as if it was straying right over the top of the flagstick. Not a marvellous shot by Ernie. 5 straight pars, just the 1 birdie today. But not so consistent from Nick Faldo. Started off okay, 3 pars. Made a birdie on the 4th, but gave 2 back straight away, very uncharacteristically for Faldo. One of those a par 5. Needs a good shot to get himself back in the hunt, and that may be the one that will do it.
Faldo looking for the 40th victory of his professional career this week. Tiger Woods then. What a round he's having. And suddenly the momentum has got into his game. 7 under par.
Big 9-iron to this island green, the 14th. Pin cut right on the front left-hand corner. And that ball was in the air an awful long time. And he may be on his knees, but the gallery are in ecstasy. And Woods looks to be enjoying it. Hasn't won since the Western Open in July of last year. But who knows? Can he get a win here today?
Faldo then, this for a birdie. He's also looking for some momentum. Been working so hard on his putting this week. Well judged, but just dribbles by.
Up ahead on the 14th. Woods for his 2. Amazingly found it so difficult to read the greens on the first 3 days, but not having that trouble so far today, but a little bit tentative there by Tiger.
And here's the leader. This to move 3 clear.
Big swing from the right and then down the slope with the grain. And Els really comfortable on these sort of greens, brought up in South Africa. The grain is very prevalent.
The Australian Peter O'Malley looking for a birdie here on the 9th. Another one of those players who can really put some birdies together when he's in the mood, and that's given him an excellent chance.
Malley, who finished 22nd on the Volvo rankings last year. £208,000 to his name. And there's a good example of the briskness of swing that Coach Ledbetter has put into the hands of Nick Faldo. Once again, hole high, but perhaps a little bit too far away for a realistic birdie opportunity.
On the 8th, Ernie Els. Such a languid swing. And that's a pretty good result, even though an awkward putt coming up for Els.
Tiger just a short putt to tap in for his par on the 14th. One of those holes that the players, although they're looking for a birdie, are quite happy with the par. Move on to the 15th.
Faldo, as we've been saying, needs to hole 1 or 2 now.
And of course, after that bad start, now really has to rely on the putting, and it's the putting that's been giving him the problem, so it'll be a severe test today of this new putting touch for Nick.
Now Peter O'Malley. This to move him to 8 under and to within 3 of the lead. Well, he can't believe that. Cruel game, this. In she goes, and O'Malley stays 4 behind.
Yeah, it's 2 good opening rounds for O'Malley. 69, 68, 72 yesterday, but going along nicely today. But Els now, chance to increase his lead. This to get him to 12 under.
Ernie, who's made his major target for the year, the US Masters. He's been so disappointing there up till now, a course which really should suit his game. But he's playing very nicely here. Ernie Els, 11 under, with 10 to play, 2 clear of Retief Goosen. Nick Faldo looking for some inspiration from his putter. He's 3 behind. And look at Tiger. Out of contention surely at the halfway stage. He was 11 off the lead then, and now he's only 4 behind. Welcome back to the final round of the Johnnie Walker Classic here in Phuket. Ernie Els leading the way, and with a chance for a birdie here on the par 5 ninth, but that chance was to elude him. And meanwhile, up ahead at the par 5 15th, Tiger Woods is about to close the gap to just 3 strokes. And the crowd, well, beginning to believe that the impossible may be possible. Woods is now only 3 behind. And Warren, what a player.
Yes, amazing performance by Woods. Never thinks of defeat. He's very positive in his approach. And now looking for a good shot here on the 16th. Short par 4, in fact shortest of the 4s. This Blue Canyon course. And really, he's got to be thinking over these last 3 holes of perhaps 3 straight birdies. Els' approach to the 10th. 392 yards. And that's a misjudgment by Ernie. And certainly around this course, sometimes a little gusting wind can really make it difficult for the players to judge their seconds. But now Woods, his birdie attempt on 16, and this surely must be a must putt. Big swing from the right. Just amazing. Just quite amazing. And you can see the look in the eyes, the stalk in the walk. The Tiger is on the move.
And now the lead is just 2. Now this man has played particularly well all week, delighting the home crowds with form like that. And Prayad Marksang, the Asian Player of the Year, keeping up his challenge in fine style.
Not a particularly good recovery from the bunker by Ernie. Caught it a little thin, and that putt actually from the edge of the green, so Els drops a shot.
And it just seems that Tiger's effect on the rest of the field is sucking them back towards him.
Now Woods only 1 behind, playing the hole that Ernie said was going to be the key one of the week, the 17th, 221 yards. 4-iron, the Tiger. Water and bunkers, narrow neck of green to aim at. And he's given himself the perfect chance. Must have looked wonderful in the air. He has the ability that Palmer has to make things happen on the last day.
Well, Faldo could do with some of that inspiration. And that really does sum up his day.
Yes, and more importantly, it may be a severe blow to Faldo's mental approach. He was looking for the putting touch to get him through this final round. It doesn't look like it's going to be his day.
Ernie Els leading the way, but now only by 1 stroke from guess who? Tiger Woods. Peter O'Malley going along nicely, also 9 under with Prayad Marksang. And this Johnnie Walker Classic is building up to quite a finish. Now Retief Goosen, French Open champion, had such an outstanding 97. And he's going along very nicely. Another player not to be underrated, just 1 behind.
Yes, 7th on the Volvo rankings last year, £394,000. Goosen won, and looking for something a little bit better this year. Woods for his 2 on 17.
The man's human.
Just under borrowed. He likes to be very aggressive with those sorts of putts, and he's still got a tricky one coming back.
Now here's a chance for Ernie to get his round back on the rails. This par 5.
544 yards, but just a long iron for Ernie. And that right into the heart of the green. And he's left himself, well, a St Andrews style putt as Woods tries to tap in for his par on 17.
In she goes. Woods has had 6 birdies in the last 9 holes, and that's the sort of form that wins tournaments.
Well, I wonder what's going through his mind. I wonder what he thinks the winning score is going to be, whether he's actually done enough. Faldo, well, he must try and make a birdie on this par 5. Tough bunker shot, 50 yards. And that's not the sort of shot we've come to expect from Faldo. I think he was trying to play the long-running bunker shot, pitch it in the middle of the green and scoot it up towards the hole, but got way too much sand. Woods on 18. Water all the way down the right-hand side. Oh, and that's a massive hit by Tiger. Don't worry about the water. He's run out of fairway. That is a huge hit. That's going to leave himself a half wedge shot to this last hole. 413 yards. And Tiger is certainly pumped up.
Back to Prayad Marksang. Played so well this week, opened with a 67, then a 72, and a 69 in the 3rd round. But that was not one of his best.
And Faldo on 11, trying to play a running pitch on this par 5 to save his par. Once again he's come up short. Not quite got the same judgment that he's had over the first 3 rounds.
Peter O'Malley, the man who won the Scottish Open in 1992 in such remarkable circumstances, covering the last 5 holes in 7 under par, and he's showing that sort of form now.
And Woods on the 18th. Pin cut on the back left-hand corner. Hard to control this coming out of the semi-rough. Has to be careful he doesn't get the fly up. Throwing it high into the air. And he certainly doesn't want it in that long grass, and that's not the shot that he was looking for. That's going to be a very tough up and down. But it's the birdie he wants. And has his chance gone?
Well, Ernie Els, unaware of what's going on in front of him. This would put him back in control, really. But that's drifted by, and Els's putting a little fallible today. So O'Malley has this for a share of the lead. No, didn't quite give it enough.
Yes, and this Blue Canyon resort course really given the players problems this week on the greens. This stiff Bermuda grass, very difficult to read. Big undulations, hard to know whether the ball is going to take the borrow or be affected by the grass. Any time when players have doubt in their minds, it makes it more difficult. And certainly doubt appears to be coming into the mind of Ernie Els. Characteristic 3-putt. When he's played the par 5 so well this week, been the key feature of his game.
Back to the 18th, and Woods with a fiendishly difficult chip. Coming down the hill. He needs to get up and down here for a 65. Just 1 off the course record.
And a disappointing day for Lee Westwood, the man that's tipped to be the European Tiger Woods. His tee shot on the 14th. And a very classy shot, bouncing back after a bad start by Lee. The head on 18. Woods has the advantage. At least he's not gone into the thick grass. Playing the flop shot and giving that one a lot of air. Very courageous by Tiger. No birdie at the last, and he'll have a good 3.5, 4-footer to save his par.
Faldo, this to save par. And once again, another one slips by.
Hasn't won in Europe since '94 when he won the Alfred Dunhill Open. Led last year, going into the last round of the European Masters, but it wasn't to happen there either. But surely it won't be too long before Nick wins again.
Westwood, after that wonderful tee shot to the 14th. He's won 3 of his last 5 tournaments. And that shows you precisely why. He goes to 7 under.
Woods has the putt coming uphill, so you can bet your bottom dollar he's going to be firm in the back of the hole with this. Fantastic round of 65 by Tiger Woods. I wonder whether it's going to be good enough.
An anxious wait ahead of him, but at least he can be satisfied that after a frustrating week, the first 3 rounds when he was, by his own admission, stalling, he's come good when it mattered. He's in the clubhouse on 9 under, but ahead of him, Ernie Els, 10 under par, leads the way by 1. Tiger just signing his card, going through the formalities. Now he can only wait. Welcome back to the beautiful island resort of Phuket, the Johnnie Walker Classic here at the Blue Canyon Country Club. Podrick Harrington keeping up his challenge. That birdie on the 13th moves him to 8 under par. And the local man, Prayad Mark Sang. How well he's played all week. Second on the Omega Tour out in Asia. And that tee shot to the 14th, setting up another birdie to move him to 8 under par. The Australian Peter O'Malley. A deft putting touch from him, and a birdie on the 13th to move to 10 under. But not such a great chip at the next, and he's back to 9. Nick Faldo's putting has not been at its most fluent, but at long last, one goes in on the 13th, and he's 7 under, and mighty relieved. So Faldo 3 behind, Ernie Els, who's on 10 under par with 5 to play, 1 ahead of Woods and O'Malley.
Buersen, his pitch to the 16th. Real up and down round for him so far. But a wonderful shot there will give him a chance to make a birdie on this short par 4 hole.
Now, can Faldo get some momentum going? Bearing in mind all his problems, he's still only 3 behind. And that's much more like it. Faldo, twice a winner of the Johnnie Walker Classic in 1990 and 93.
Els in the 3rd round found the water on this hole. But today that's safely on the green, airing on the long side, which was absolutely the right thing to do.
The par 5 15th. O'Malley driving across the water.
Yes, and going for the long tee shot, taking the short line over the bunker, drawing it round. Has a chance to reach the green in 2.
Goosen, this to move to within 1. Oh, well judged. This 16th, a really difficult green. And Goosen now is 1 behind Els. And a real logjam at the top of the leaderboard. 10 players covered by just 3 strokes.
Els needs to get some distance between the pack, but that putt's not going to give it to him. And signs on the face of Els of a little bit of tension and stress.
The difficult 17th. 221 yards. And that needs to hold on, but it does. And Goosen knows a closing birdie in the last 2 holes will put him ahead of Tiger Woods in the clubhouse already on 9 under.
Real good chance now for Faldo. And if only he'd hit it. Tried so hard to find the right line, forgot about the strength. And once you start second guessing yourself on these greens, very difficult to hold putts.
Goosen's chip on the 17th, and that's beautifully judged. He had such a good Dunhill Cup last year, winning all his matches. Now here's Mark Sang, 3rd shot to the par 5 15th. Another birdie opportunity perhaps.
Huisson, his par putt on 17. 6 top 10s he had in Europe last year, often in the shadows of Ernie Els. Has a similar sort of rhythm and tempo to the leading South African player.
O'Malley, his 3rd shot to this par 5 15th, and that needed a shade more.
Yes, finding a few problems with the short game now, O'Malley. A couple of short chips really given him some problems. There's evidence of that flowing swing from Huisson on the 18th. Not quite as far as Tiger Woods a few moments ago, but right down the centre of the fairway and in perfect position.
Now O'Malley. This would give him a share of the lead.
Yes, and the drop shot on the 14th, giving O'Malley reason to think again.
He's a bold putter, this Mark Sang. He doesn't back off, that's for sure.
Yes, not used to playing for this sort of prize money. Prize money on the Omega Tour. Very much 4th division stuff compared to the weight of the European Tour. As Westwood plays his tee shot to the 17th and finds the front bunker. Well, we hope he finds the front bunker. There is water down there.
Now Mark Sang. This to stay at 8 under. Oh, goodness. And one of the rare misses for him. Well, Mark Sang made his par, cleared the green, so Els, with that pitch, would give him a chance to make a birdie on the 15th. Up ahead on the 18th, Retief Goosen just came up short with his 2nd shot. Another one of those awkward chips. Tidily played, but I wouldn't fancy a downhiller like that to tie Tiger Woods on the last.
Yes, left it on the wrong side of the hole. Obviously going for the birdie. A man going for a birdie on 16, O'Malley. And that's a wonderful approach shot, especially when you consider he's fluffed a couple of pitches in the last few holes. So O'Malley fighting back.
Now then, this has to go in. And it hasn't. So another one of Woods' challengers has fallen by the wayside. Goosen finishes with a bogey 5. It's a round of 69, 8 under par. But what a costly 5 at the last.
Well, a chance now for Els to put some daylight between him and the rest of the field with this birdie attempt on 15. And just pulled the putter across the line. And not the normal confident putting stroke we've seen from Ernie, certainly over the first few days.
O'Malley, this to tie the lead. So Peter O'Malley joins Ernie Els at the top of the leaderboard on 10 under par. 1 clear of Tiger Woods, who's already in the clubhouse. Retief Goosen 1 further back. And Else, all of a sudden, not in the lead on his own.
And a similar pitch to the other leading players on this 16th hole for Els, but not able to control it.
Up ahead, we hear that Peter O'Malley has missed the green to the left at the par 3 17th.
And a chance then for Els, all but a long one on the 16th for his birdie. But tension is creeping into the South Africans' game. That's a long way short, and a tough putt for his par coming up.
Now O'Malley's had one attempt at chipping to the 17th. Didn't make a very good fist of it. This is his second. That's much better. But he's still going to be left with that for a bogey 4.
This to keep the lead for Els. So he drops a shot, and with O'Malley sure to drop a shot on 17, it appears we've got a three-way tie at the top.
Lee Westwood. He'll be rueing a couple of expensive mistakes this week. Apart from those, he's played really well. And he's going to have that for a round of 71 to finish at 7 under par. Now here's O'Malley. This for a 4. Oh. My goodness, that's a costly mistake. O'Malley slips back to 8 under. So Tiger Woods and Ernie Els share the lead at 9 under par. 1 clear of Goosen and O'Malley, with 4 players all on 7 under, 2 behind. One of those is Nick Faldo.
Yes, and don't rule Nick out. A couple of birdies may help him, but he doesn't like that. And caught a little heavy as he finds the bunker. It looks as if his challenge for this trophy has gone west. This man clearly in the hunt. 4 iron for Els, trying to bring it in a little bit from the left-hand side. And holding onto it and turning it the other way. That's going to be a very awkward chip.
Hard to believe Tiger Woods began this final round 8 shots off the lead. Now O'Malley on the 18th.
Needs a good drive. He's looking towards the water. And what a disappointing way for him to finish. Just a few moments ago, really looked to have the tournament in his grasp as Els plays his pitch to the 17th. And amazing turnaround over the last few holes.
Now Podrick Harrington has played really well this week, despite an injured shoulder. And that's a nice way to finish for the Irishman. A 73, and he'll be 6 under par, but a good check to open his 1998 season.
Faldo not able to get the ball close to the hole with his long bunker shot. This for his par. And once again, a long way wide of the mark. So another shot dropped for Nick. And this becoming a day that he will clearly want to forget.
O'Malley at the 18th. This now is 4th shot, remember, in the water off the tee. Oh, and that comes up a little shy. And O'Malley, who double bogeyed the 17th, has to make that putt to avoid making another double bogey at the last.
Really important putt for Els on 17. And with that bogey for Ernie, it means Tiger Woods now leads the tournament by 1 shot.
The galleries must be rubbing their eyes in disbelief. Tiger Woods leads the way, 9 under par. 1 clear of Goosen, O'Malley and Els. O'Malley isn't going to finish on 8 under. He's got this for a bogey.
And given that a fair bolt up the hill. Oh. Well, he can't believe it. It is some consolation, I suppose, but he will be distraught at his finish over the last 2 holes.
On the tee, Ernie Els knows he needs a birdie 3 if he's going to tie Tiger Woods.
In some respects, maybe the hole might be a little bit easier to play, knowing that he's got to make the birdie now. He's not holding on to try and win the tournament. He's got to go and get it.
Now the local man, the Asian Player of the Year. That's going to be a par to finish for him. But what a good week's work. He's going to be tied 8th and a cheque for £17,140.
Second shot for Nick Faldo. Quite a long way back for him. But once again, a classy shot. And what a difference it might have been for Nick if he could have just holed a few putts today.
There's the man who's watching it all develop in front of him. He must be amazed by the way that so many of these top players have faltered.
Yeah, it's looking very cool in the clubhouse there as Els plays his second shot to the last. Must try and get it close to have a chance. And he's done just that, but it's not going to be an easy putt from that side. Down the hill, a lot of swing from right to left.
£800,000 in prize money on offer this week for the Johnnie Walker Classic. And will that top prize be going to Tiger Woods?
Aldo up the hill, a little bit of left to right break. And one suspects a lot more time on the practice putting green for Nick over the coming months if he's going to attain his goal of trying to get one of those majors this year.
He said that his game was around about 75 to 80% coming into this event. And even though it's a disappointing finish, he'll be reasonably pleased.
All eyes on Els. Must hold this to tie. And he has! Well, quite extraordinary scenes on 18. Hardly been able to hole a putt for the last 9 holes, and suddenly when he needs it, the champion produces something quite special.
So the opening event of the 1998 European season goes to a playoff between Tiger Woods and Ernie Els, 2 of the world's top 3 players in combat. They finish on 9 under par, 1 shot ahead of Retief Goosen. Back down the 18th they go, and we'll join them in a moment. What a vintage start to the 1998 European golf season. The Johnnie Walker Classic here in Phuket. It's a playoff between Ernie Els and Tiger Woods. Els teeing off on the 18th.
Yes, a showdown between the world's number 3 and the world's number 1. And the marketing logo this year is Amazing Thailand. And it's certainly living up to that already. Woods hit a massive tee shot here. The last hole of regulation play. Hasn't hit a tee shot now for nearly 2 hours or so.
He didn't hold back on that one. And that's gone some 340 yards. We're reliably informed that that's the longest drive of the tournament. That statistic coming from Guardian Performance Data, who are going to be keeping you abreast of all the vital statistics on the European Tour this season.
And that slow-mo giving you a good example of the width of Woods' swing that generates such enormous power. But it's finesse that's required for the second shot here for Ernie Els. Needs to put it close to put the pressure back on Tiger. Oh, and this is going to turn out to be a marvellous duel.
Els, 3 times the world match play champion. That must give him some confidence. But then again, he never had to come across Tiger Woods.
78 yards to go for Tiger. Just a little pitch for the sand iron, and he's not able to control it. And that's exactly where he didn't want to go. Signs of that frustration coming to the fore again. We know how well Tiger can play once he starts to get a little bit riled. It's very, very fast. Just needs to pitch it into the fringe of the green, almost on the upslope, and let it roll down towards the hole. Even his heart must be beating a little bit faster. He's almost played it too well. And that's the sort of putt, or length of putt, that Latif Hewson had on the last, which he missed. So plenty of toing and froing, but it does mean that Ernie Els now will have a birdie opportunity to win this Johnnie Walker Classic.
And of course it would be for a second year in a row. The defending champion. This to hold on to his title.
And maybe with Tiger's putt there, 4, maybe 5 feet away, just put a little bit of doubt into Ernie's mind that maybe a 4 might be good enough. And a little bit wide on reading that line.
What's the line on this one, Warren?
Well, if he tries to dribble, it'll be just outside the hole, but knowing the way Tiger tries to putt, he'll keep this inside and firm, but it's very quick. Well, it caught the edge of the hole, but it's found the bottom of it. And they go back down the 18th again, hole halved in 4. And of course, this is exactly what the crowds here wanted to see. A marvellous ending to a terrific tournament.
And what a start to the 98 season. The Johnnie Walker Classic really living up to its billing.
Once again, Els first to drive on this 18th hole. He won't be put off by the distance that Tiger's been hitting the ball. He just needs to get it into position to attack with the second shot. Once again, that's A1+.
This drive is pretty intimidating. Remember Peter O'Malley's chances ended here on the 18th when he went into the water.
I wondered whether Tiger might have taken the 3-wood off the tee to take a little bit of yardage off the tee shot, but he hasn't. But that one didn't quite carry as far as the first drive, didn't pitch onto the downslope, so he'll be a little bit further back.
This 18th hole, 413 yards. And what a glittering array of champions this tournament has produced. Els will be playing his second shot first.
A little bit of gusting breeze as Els plays his second shot first. Oh, it just fooled him. And that's flown into the deep rough at the back of the green. So that's a lot worse off than Tiger's shot a few moments ago.
What a chance for Woods. Remember, he was 8 behind going into the final round. And now surely here's his chance.
Yes, he has one from 9 behind. That was in a junior tournament in America, not playing the elite of the European Tour. Woods finds the centre of the green. And all will depend on the lie that Ernie finds when he gets to the back of the green. Very tough shot this, all above his feet. And that is quite exquisite. That's an extraordinary shot from Els. Play a shot of that quality and class in a situation like this is why he is US Open champion material.
But Woods now has a putt for a remarkable win, even by this man's standards.
And he does have the ability to make it happen. There's a bit of swing from right to left. It is quick. Oh, it looks good. It's great. And just look at that emotion from Tiger Woods.
The 8th win of an astonishing professional career, but not even he has come from this far back before.
You know, today, honestly, I thought I had to shoot 62. I thought I had to get to 12 under and post that number and see what happened. And I didn't get off the start I wanted. I bogeyed number 2. But I got it going, and, you know, for some reason, I guess 9 was good enough just to get into a playoff. I honestly thought the playoff would be about 11. I didn't think I had much of a chance, but I'll take it.
So another glorious chapter in the phenomenal career of Tiger Woods. A special win in the country where his mother was born. A triumph achieved despite the frustration of a moderate start, but culminating in a famous victory over one of his greatest rivals. A classic opening to the 1998 European Tour. Nobody could tame the Tiger. From Warren, myself and all the team in the paradise of Phuket, it's goodbye.
In a place where land, sea, and sky converge lies a little place of haven called paradise. This is Phuket, the pearl of the Andaman Sea, and Thailand's southern paradise. Only an hour's flight from Bangkok, and even less from Malaysia, this island paradise is also just 90 minutes from Singapore. Conveniently located just minutes from Phuket International Airport, this tropical landscape is the perfect setting for one of the region's most exclusive golf clubs, the Blue Canyon Country Club. Over the past 5 years, the allure of this very singular place has proven irresistible to the world's greatest golfers. Blue Canyon Country Club offers the privacy and serenity found only in the perfect balance of art and nature. Situated on 730 acres of breathtaking tropical landscape and surrounded by a crystal clear lake. The 7,119-yard World Championship course winds through stately rubber trees and rolling hills, affording a tranquility that is broken only by the unexpected challenges awaiting. However, Blue Canyon Country Club caters only to a select group of the world's most discerning golfers. In a place where devotees of a game requiring both skill and strategy will find that each hole reflects its unique characteristics of difficulty, design, and grace. all find that once having played here, the challenging game of golf is never quite the same again. And this is a place for world-class tournaments. Blue Canyon Country Club twice found itself in the spotlight when it was selected to host the 1994 and 1998 Johnnie Walker Classics. The footprints of all golfing legends are indelibly imprinted here for those with the vision to see them. Having mesmerized the galleries with their stunning performances, their drive for perfection now casts its spell on all who follow in their path. Don't be surprised if your own drives begin to look like the stuff of legends. Eventually, the kind of people who choose Blue Canyon Country Club know the score. While the course may resist all efforts to keep your numbers low, the investment reflected in the surrounding splendor could well make your numbers soar. Both exclusive condominiums and majestic parcels of land are available to the discriminating investor at very attractive prices. With government support, the island paradise of Phuket has rapidly developed into a major destination on the itineraries of the yacht and jet set, turning every inch of ground into pearls in the process. And as if Blue Canyon Country Club residents have not already been amply rewarded for their foresight, now the new and challenging Lakes Course will be open by early 1999, providing even greater returns on their investment and choice of two 18-hole courses for their pleasure. Clearly, Blue Canyon Country Club is a winning investment. Nevertheless, Blue Canyon Country Club is not for everyone, but for those who are accustomed to a certain exclusivity and refinement. Here, every detail, every amenity has been meticulously selected to reflect the rigorous standards of the most discerning international clientele. Although this delicate touch is only felt by a select few, Blue Canyon Country Club takes great pleasure in being able to provide it for them. Blue Canyon Country Club, at the confluence of land, sea, and sky, where tranquility and excitement meet, where challenge and reward converge. Here you will find your place in the sun, the utmost retreat for you and your loved ones, in the ultimate golfing paradise designed by nature.